I just took a ride down here and fell in love with it ever since, I guess.
I've been coming to the Guild for just over a year. Great place, love it. Every single day after school.
Great environment, great learning experience, great equipment for free, great teachers, great staff, everything. It's wonderful.
Coming here is a good thing, and I wish I can get more people to come here out doing things that they're not supposed to be doing, and they could be here doing things that's constructive and helping them out with their future.
I was kind of walking down the hallway of the public school one day, and the art room door was open, and Mr. Ross, who was the art teacher, was making a vessel. And I was standing there at the art room door, and he said, "Can I help you?" And I said, "Well, yeah, what is that?" And he said, "Ceramics." And I said, "Well, I want you to teach me that." Got pretty good at clay, got pretty good at English, and graduated from Oliver High School. And Frank said, "I'm leaving this school to take a job at college, and I'm not leaving you behind to die. You need to go to college." So he helped me get into the University of Pittsburgh by insisting I fill out a college application, which I did. Graduated from Pitt and founded Manchester Craftsmen's Guild to basically repeat my experience with other kids in the neighborhood that I had had with Mr. Ross.
Manchester Craftsmen's Guild started as an idea for Bill Strickland all the way back in 1968 as a result of the influence of his relationship with Frank Ross. And as the program has evolved over time, it's really that relationship between a practicing artist mentor and one student sort of protege that we've tried to really model our success on and our growth on.
Frank was my mentor, and he mentored me about living, not just about art, and introduced me to architecture. I remember he took a bunch of us kids to see Falling Water. He used to bring in books on photography. He brought in albums on jazz. He allowed me to explore every sort of creative notion that occurred to me, and he introduced me to others that had not occurred to me. So over the course of a couple of years, I got a very good sense of what the creative life was all about, what creative possibilities would open up to you by way of vocation, and I got to know his family, because I think that may have been as important as the artwork that we did. I came to the conclusion that environment determines a lot of behavior, and that if you build nurturing environments, you ought to have nurturing people. So I committed myself to take those principles and apply them to Manchester Craftsmen's Guild. So I simulated both Frank's classroom at Oliver High School and his home, and merged the two into something called the Manchester Craftsmen's Guild. So Manchester Craftsmen's Guild is an arts education experience. It's an arts workshop experience. It is done at no cost to the kids and done in partnership with the Pittsburgh Public School System. And our students now number in the hundreds, both who are enrolled in the program and ones who have gone on to college as the result of the experience that they've had here at Manchester.
We believe that the impact of the programming as we've designed it is really something that could be of value to any young person.
Here we have this 62,000 square foot facility that basically reflects every principle that Frank believed in, including a 350-seat music hall that's winning Grammy Awards and showcasing artists that I used to hear when Frank used to bring these album ins when I was 16 years old, a fabulous gallery, great clay making facilities, great photography facilities, digital imaging center, big culinary arts program, and technology applications for poor students who come through here wanting to learn something about improving their economic circumstance and acquiring a real life.
You know, I met Bill, as you said, some 20 years ago. I literally wandered in the building as it had just been completed and did a tour, the same tour that Bill gives today, different programs, and we ended up in the music hall. And he said, we built this music hall to do jazz concerts because I like jazz, and jazz changed my life. And when I was a kid in high school, my ceramic art teacher brought in jazz music, and it gave me a different way to view the world by following what those jazz musicians were trying to do. I want to let you know that the show that we did is going to air during Christmas week.
Yeah, let's make sure we get the announcement out to the whole world about that.
Over the last couple decades, we have had here in the concert hall virtually all the living masters there are, from Dizzy Gillespie to Carmen McRae, and on and on and on. The reason that the artists do what they do for us, allow us to record them in high technology stuff, make records for us that end up winning Grammys and all this kind of stuff, go out of their way to do multiple performances, you know, because we have a little 350-seat music hall that's so intimate. When a Nancy Wilson or a Max Roach or somebody is here, they really become part of our, you know, MCG community for a week. The music in some ways becomes then the public celebration of why they're actually here.
Well, thank you.
Bill's spirit is of a jazz musician. You know, even though he can't play a note per se, the way that he thinks about life, and certainly manages this place as a jazz musician, that he's kind of a band leader.
I think that the way that creative people think, the way that artists produce and so forth, has a lot to contribute to broadening the conversation about what is possible by way of working with kids within the context of the inner city.
Manchester Craftsmen Guild is a unique place, and in many ways is influencing what people are thinking about the role of arts, education, and community development nationally and now even internationally.
The relationship that we have here in Pittsburgh with our public school system is a great model that could be used as a template for essentially any public school system in America.
Some of the visiting artists that came down here as I was a student were famous people such as Gordon Parks. He was a part of the program, and he really inspired me and also inspired the other photography and students at the time too.
We've had almost every premier ceramic artist or photographic artist or visual artist come through this place as a professional who's doing workshops and mentorships with the kids and exhibiting their work is really off the charts and something I'm particularly proud of.
Whenever I graduated from college, I came down and was talking to the instructor at the time, Lonnie Graham, who was my instructor mentor, and he offered me a position as a lab tech, and I took that position, which was back in 1996. And over the course of 10 years, just was able to develop other relationships within the organization, and I'm back to teaching photography.
Aside from the fact we have several college professors now who came through this place, 8 of the faculty are former kids who actually went through the program, went off to college and came back to teach in this place. That is, of all the things that Manchester has done, that ranks right at the top of the list.
This is an organization in the after-school program where students can be a part of something that is positive and that can really enrich their lives.
Do I have to slow it down first?
A little bit, yeah.
Is that good?
Yeah, a little bit faster now.
The arts, I think, unlike some other endeavors that people might get involved with after school, really require that our students think critically about their own learning habits and think also passionately about who they are as individuals and what voice they need to make heard in the world.
To me, art is like everyday life. Like the clothes you wear is from art, clothes, cloth. They teach you to design them. Ceramics, bowls that you eat out of, cups you drink out of. Everything that we do here, you can use and do in everyday life. So that's a good help.
I feel that wherever I go, I'm gonna try to do an art minor at least, and do a major in business or math, but always have the art in the background because that helps out a lot wherever you go. I mean, it's just you look at things differently.
The message that we hope to communicate to the kids is, if you develop persistence and you listen to other people around you and you maintain some sense of discipline, over the course of time, you can begin to acquire the ingredients to change your life permanently. But nobody's handing this away for free. We have provided the opportunity for kids to really get a real shot at life, but they've got to put in the time, put in the energy, put in the intelligence in order to receive the gifts that come as the result of hard work.